Welcome back to the Affaka Show. The Chiefs are dead. The Chiefs are dead. The Chiefs are dead. Week 15 recap and then power rankings for Week 16. We do have our NFL playoffs shaping up. It was a crazy week. It was a wild week. And let me tell you, did my speech impediment get in there? Yes. But this was the first week in a long time where I knew what was going on. My picks were hitting, things were happening, and the bounces went my way. Eventually, the bounces are going to go my way. Now, before I did start, did I hit the parlay for the Sunday Night Football game where it was Jalen Warren under 12.5 rush attempts, Kenneth Gainwell more than 40 or 30 yards, and Steelers money line? Yes, but no one's talking about it, and we don't have to here. Unless you wanted to and you wanted to say thank you, I will allow that. I have a new hat. Shout out, pardon my take, inspiration. Starting off, Chiefs Chargers. Wowee. You always thought in the end Patrick Mahomes was going to get there. Patrick Mahomes is done. Bye, bye, bye. A lot of people are dancing on Patrick Mahomes' grave. Fully, I'll do a little Patrick Mahomes talk. I don't care. Like, I'm sad for him, honestly, as a player. I like watching him play because he's dominant. But, like, look, I'm an NFC East kid. I don't really care about Patrick Mahomes, especially more specifically, I'm an NFC East Eagles kid. So he never really knocked me out of the playoffs. Sure, did he win the Super Bowl? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I got my sweet revenge show. Honestly, I'm just more sad than anything that he is out. I mean, look, it is a big part of the sadness because I had a lot of Chiefs futures. Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't care. I'm bold enough and I'm man enough to admit that. But look, we talk about winners first on this show. Chargers won 16-13. Defense was a clinic. They couldn't get anything moving. Sure, Mahomes went out, but even beforehand, it had the hint of what it did all year. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is going to go down. He's going to drive. He's going to score. And that's not what happened. It just didn't happen. Sometimes when you eat a Tootsie Roll and you're like, oh, this probably isn't going to be good, then it is good. The exact opposite happened in this scenario here. Chargers swept the Chiefs for the first time since 2013. And they obviously have a chance to sneak away with the AFC West. Actually, no, they don't, because the Broncos are good. No matter what happens, there's going to be just a little thing they're chasing in front of them, and that little thing is going to be a different team. And the Chargers, not great to win the division. Look, they clinched their 10th win, securing a double-digit win for the first time in nearly 2 decades, which is really impressive. I mean, look, in the end of the day, they got 5 sacks. Very impressive. Minshew was starting to put a little something together, and then it just went sour so fast. Kansas City, look, we already talked about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was the main story here. No one really cares. This was the win and get in possibly game. We have to win out and have some things bounce their way. This Chiefs season was not right from the start. They were talking about, oh, this offense is incredible, but it didn't go anywhere. And yes, sure, the offense, was it better than last season? I don't know. They didn't make playoffs this season. Last season, they made it to the Super Bowl. So it was one of those things where it's like, oh, they win these close games. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but it kind of does. It kind of does. However, let's see. The offensive line, sure, there were a lot of injuries, but then at the end of the day, who really cares? Again, look, interception, sacks, just wasn't pretty. I think the interception of Gardner Minshew was just like, Chiefs, your season is officially done. Outlook for the Chargers, it's bright. You're making the playoffs. Congrats. Huge for you guys. On the other hand, for the Chiefs, you're eliminated for the first time since I think I read 2014. And you must start planning for the 2026 season now. But to be transparent with you, it looks grim. It looks bad. Lions versus the Rams. That is our second game. The Rams won 41-34. High-scoring game. Tons of fun at first. This first half, it was all Lions. Everything was bouncing the Lions' way. Second half, the Rams came in. Some notable injuries in this game. Some notable things happened. Let's get into it. So, Rams are trailing halftime, but they had 24 that was not words. On this podcast, we want to give you the words. But they have 24 points scored in the third quarter, which honestly, it's impressive. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford there, and they clinched the playoff berth with this game. So, look, it's just postseason appearances under McVay look fantastic. Matthew Stafford, though, he's old. 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, what has happened, right, within Matthew Stafford's life? A lot. Do I want to share them all with you? No, because he's old. I don't have time. But they put him in some type of cryo chamber. If we remember in the offseason, do I bring this up every single game? Yes. Because he's probably going to be the MVP. Josh Allen, he might get it back. Drake May, I think, his chances with the loss against the Bills. Matthew Stafford might be MVP. If he wins on Thursday, he is MVP. So honestly, if you want to bet the Rams to win, you might as well bet Matthew Stafford to win MVP. If it's at better odds, I don't know. And that was another speech impediment. It's 2 for the program today. Look, they are on a tear. Over the last 2 weeks, almost 1,000 yards of offense and 11 touchdowns. Now, I was all over the Rams. Let's not forget that. I was all over the Chiefs. So at this point, we're 1-1. I want that to be clear. And I guess I should review the Ravens game because I won that, but I'm not going to. I did also win the Vikings game. I should review that, but I'm not going to. But that part doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. We talk about a loss on the show. We wear it on the chin and on our chest. Shout out clothing sponsor I don't have yet. But look, this Lions team was not great. They're not great. They're up a lot, but it seemed like the whole time it's like you're not really putting out the Rams team. Total defensive collapse, which is what we saw coming. Branchard's going to be out, remember. Why is that so impactful? Well, branches are so important to trees. Trees are so important to this world. That means branch is very important to the Lions. Really is as simple as that. But look, you can't go against him. I mean, Amon-Ra, though, had a monster day. So if you had him in fantasy, you're like, oh, you know what? At least there's that. At least there's that. 13 receptions, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns. JMO also had a couple huge plays getting them down there. Who was quiet, though? Gibbs. Gibbs did nothing. Gibbs did absolutely nothing. And I was playing against him in fantasy, so I was happy. But then I lost my fantasy matchup by 1 point. Not happy. Not happy about that. But what did he do? Gibbs didn't really do much. It was a huge disappointment. They kind of abandoned the run, it felt like, and I don't truthfully understand why they abandoned the run. Or they were just handing off to David Montgomery. Didn't make sense. Although, look, at the end of the day, this game was over in the second half. The Rams surged 17 unanswered points. It was just a rout from there. It was they might win the money line. Oh, now they're covering. Very, very quick. Look, if they win on Thursday, they're going to be the top seed in the NFC. They lose on Thursday. Count it here. Look at here. The Niners could win the NFC West and have a first-round bye and be in first place. There is a path. There is a path because there are some notable injuries, right? So Davante Adams' hamstring might not play. I don't think he's going to play. I could probably look it up, but he was already kind of injured this game. And honestly, I get why you want to win, but Davante Adams is so important in this playoffs, and he is on the age-gifted side, you could say. So if I'm them, I would go ahead and sit him. The Rams are going to be forced in the playoffs. I don't really know who can compete with him unless Sam Darnold has a perfect day. Unless the Packers, I mean, we're going to talk about them in a second, they're done. They're done. I mean, look, the Lions, I guess, can beat anyone on any given Sunday if they have their defense. They don't have their defense. Or maybe the Eagles, EAGLES Eagles, could have a chance if Kevin Petula didn't just run Saquon Barkley inside down. Saquon Barkley inside down all the time. So, look, the Lions, they're on the outside looking in for the playoffs. There's a very real chance the Lions do not make it to the playoffs, which honestly, with the talent, sure, their defensive got banged up kind of mid-year, and then people are just rolling in, rolling out. This is the same story that we keep seeing. So maybe it's on the staff. I don't know. I still think they can make it. Some things have to go their ways. Some people in the NFC, have to go down. Let's look at the NFC playoff picture. Look, I mean, they can make it in. The Bears, though, I don't really know. I think the Bears are going to make it in. When we look at the NFC real quick, I think they'll be able to skip over the Packers. The Packers are 9-4-1. That is 2 losses. And then so it's going to be tough to jump, but I do think the Lions can get there. Cowboys are out of here. Get out of here. Wow, Vikings are eliminated. So many people are eliminated. Outside looking in, Ravens might have a chance, but guys, this is shaping up to be a fantastic playoffs. I am pumped. Let's go. Huge. Okay. So that's the recap for that game. Broncos, Packers, instant. Everyone's talking about, this could be the Super Bowl matchup. Shut up. No, it's not. Like, I love Bo Nix. I love this defense of the Broncos to some degree. Actually, no. Bo Nix, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. Because whenever I bet on you, you lose. Whenever I bet against you, you win. So actually, Bo Nix, I don't like you. Unless I bet on you and you do win, then I do like you again. But they overcame a 9-point second half deficit, this Broncos team. Incredible 4-touchdown performance by Bo Nix because I bet against him. You know what I have to do? I have to bet on Bo Nix props, bet on Green Bay Packers to go ahead and win. And it's just simple as that. But the defense, look, halftime, turnovers. We saw Micah Parsons go out. Bad for the Packers. Christian Watson, they couldn't stretch the field. It was all bad, but we talk about winners first in the show. So look, first team in the AFC to clinch a playoff berth. Congrats to them. They hold the number 1 seed pretty firmly at 12-2. Bo Nix, again, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns. Incredible performance from the kid. I mean, no one's talking about him for the MVP, but look, if you're 12-2, you should. The defense, though, Surtain, I thought he was out. I thought he got injured and went out. So I kind of hit this Green Bay line again. That was a huge mistake. Had a crazy interception against Jordan Love, which was really the catalyst for this whole thing. Now, Jordan Love didn't play that great. And we've seen the Packers just like either dominate teams, like, whoa, all these receivers are humming, or just be like, where is everyone? It's kind of like at a sandcastle when there's no kids, but it's not like it's more of a sand, what do you want to call it, like on the playground, and you can have like, let's say like a dump truck in there, or, a Lucy-Loo, Whoosy-Who in there to play with as well. But in the end of the day, sometimes there's just no one there. And it kind of gives you the heebie-jeebie vibes of like, well, there's sand there. Shouldn't there be children? But there's not. And then there's also one of those things where you spin around like you saw in Stranger Things, a merry-go-round. Not a merry-go-round. What is those things that you sit on and it's like basically like a man-made gravitron and you try to fling yourself off of it? I don't know. I'll try to figure that one out for the people out there at home. But it's like that when the wind's blowing and no one's there. Why is my nose so itchy? That is really what this Packers team is. If that makes sense. It's the wind blowing when there's no one on the little carousel thing and you're just kind of questioning like, this should be fun, but it's not. What's going on? Welcome to your Green Bay Packers. You're like that. Look, the loss of snaps for Packers is just bad. Like, they just couldn't get on the ball. They couldn't get anything going. Micah Parsons injured. Bad. A turnover from Jordan Love. Again, bad. They couldn't stop anything. This game was sealed when Surtain had the pick. So where does this leave us for the future? Well, Broncos, welcome. We're going to see in the AFC. I'm sure we're going to get some crazy third down conversion from Bo Nix when I bet against them for Sutton. Excited to put that one out there. I cannot wait for that to happen. This defense is going to put them in any game, kind of similar to the Texans. I like their offense. I do have a lot of questions about their offense because, who have they played? That's what I want to know. The Packers, now they're battling for a wild card spot. I do believe the Lions can jump them. Do they play again? No, they don't. The Packers had the Lions number both games, showing some real holes in it. I do believe the Lions can jump them just because the Packers are doing pretty bad. However, the Packers are playing the Bears. If they beat the Bears, I do not see the Lions jumping over the Packers. I really don't. So, overall, though, I would say they have probably the NFL predictor has them at an 88% chance for the playoffs. I'll go ahead and put them at a 72% chance as my model. And then the Lions at a 47% chance. Are those real numbers? Did I just make it up? I don't know. Time to go into our power rankings aspect of the show. We have all the different categories. Let's go over it. So first is the Juggernauts. Rams number 1, Seahawks. Welcome back to number 2. Then we have the Bills at 3, Broncos at 4. Welcome the New England Patriots at 5. At 6, we have the Texans. Next row. This is the any given Sunday tier. And within this tier, this means these teams can win any given Sunday against the Juggernauts. Welcome to Jacksonville Jaguars. I now fully believe, I believe in Liam Cohen, but now this is a new one. Philadelphia Eagles, look, you haven't really moved down much. You moved away from the Juggernauts tier. That's because they can't call plays. Once they call plays, you'll be up there again. San Francisco 49ers, follow that. I was impressed with what Brock Purdy does. It's the Titans. What do you want from me? Bears, again, impressive game. You can get bumped up a little bit if you beat the Packers. Lions, kind of just had points, but your offense is still there. Not rotten milk tier. This tier is where, like, okay, you take it out and go, okay, that milk's not rotten, so I guess I'll drink it. Cheers. Great win against the Chiefs. Packers are still there. Buccaneers, something's wrong with the Buccaneers. Something's wrong with the Ravens. So Packers, Buccaneers, Ravens. Those three right there is something completely wrong with them. I don't know what it is. Smells off milk tier. You have the Bengals. You have the Chiefs. The Colts and Chiefs, you guys are down there. Look, Philip Rivers kind of stunk. Like, he was fine as Philip Rivers, but he was not good. Chiefs, you're all the way down there. You're a bad team. I think you just have to accept that. And apparently, from what I'm hearing around, sources, which is just me listening to other people who a lot more people listen to them, Chiefs did not draft well. So, in the years coming for the Chiefs, it might be really bad. You have the Falcons, you have the Commanders. I'm sorry, you're a fan tier. You have the Browns. There's some promising things out there with the Browns. Same thing with the Giants, some promising Cardinals. You have three sick receivers, Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and also Trey McBride. It's just like, get a quarterback. K Moore's not bad. Jets, your Dumps 5 Raiders are even bad. Well, people, that is the Affaka show. Thank you, as always, like and subscribe. We might have to break this off in a brand new channel because no one's watching it, and that's my excuse for not having any views. All right, I don't know. What do you want from me? Go Birds.